Bruce, we've interviewed a number of people here on their Peugeot cars today, but I understand you know a lot of knowledge on the early days of Peugeot in Perth and this club.
Well, I don't know about a lot of knowledge, but I've got some insights into the start of it. I formed a, I suppose you'd say an interest group in mid-83 it was, or actually April 83, and I think we had about 8 or 10 people at my old house in Wembley, and out of that the club grew, and I think we had our first proper meeting, if you could call it that. I do believe it was September of that year, so we're of the order of 21 years old now. The club's been generally a successful organisation. It has obviously, like many other clubs, waxed and waned in membership and different sorts of activities over the years, and I haven't personally, this is as I speak October 2004, I haven't had a great deal of activity in the club in the last 8 or 10 years, given that I've been working in other states and I've only just recently returned to WA, but I've kept pretty close tabs on it all that time and kept informed with the club newsletter, which is the Lion. But yeah, we had to do, there was myself and basically 2 or 3 other people who did the original, I suppose you'd say, committee groundwork. John Lewis, myself, David Hodge, and a lady who now lives in Melbourne, Sharon Rappold. She was our first secretary, and we had to do a reasonable amount of stuff in fairly short order, establishing the club as an incorporated body, which meant writing constitutions and all that sort of stuff, taking on all the appropriate sort of, legal safeguards, all that sort of thing. Getting events established, some of which have remained, such as the one you see here today. This All French Day has been going since, certainly since the late 80s. I can't quite put a figure on it, but it's been going probably 15 years or more, and it's always a very successful event. Bastille Night, or Bastille, we call it Bastille Day Night, is celebrated every year and has been since we started, in various venues, in various states of costume and dress and undress, and perhaps I've said enough on that. So it's an active, really interested group of people. Changes I see in the club are those that probably only someone of my crusty vintage could see, and that is from the old cars that we started with, which we thought were quite new at the time, through to the latest model Peugeots that you see around you now, and there's quite a good collection.
The raffle is to be drawn.
Very good. A few models we haven't got, but that changes year to year too. But overall, it's been a great experience, and it's a good, strong club with very active, enthusiastic membership.
And if we crystallise all that into your particular interest, tell us about your Peugeot.
Well, I've had most of these models. The oldest one I've had is a 203, which is not here. Then a 403, similar to Bob Pinkerton's, not quite as good as Bob's, but not bad. Actually, all of the other models you see here, except for the new cars, the 306s, 307s, and so on. And, they're all very appealing, charming cars, extremely reliable, very strong, and it's much like it's much like the situation you hear with some other marques, where it's a matter of having to get your bum in the seat and drive it. There's no effective way for me to tell you why they are such good cars. I can't do it, and nor can anybody else.
And the modern focus is on that gorgeous 407 over there.
Yes, indeed, it is currently. But like all models, it will have its day, and it will pass into the great pantheon of vintage.